Provide you with the best in oil shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. You can also join us live on YouTube on Omanfm and on Facebook on the 2TVGH. Tune in to Boateng in Kumasi for more maritime and port news. My name is Nanesi Boateng. In our stories this morning, an eerie ghost vessel reportedly ran aground on a beach during a storm in Cambodia. The deserted ship was discovered ashore after it was blown away by winds as the waves hit the coast near Koh Tang Island in the Sihanouk province in Cambodia on 12th July. The following day, relevant authorities examined the shoreline to look for signs of the occupant, but to no avail. However, 3 discarded life jackets were found on rocks 50 meters from the wreckage site. Officials have not yet been able to board the unidentified vessel due to the poor weather and sea conditions. It was reportedly left on the beach. The idea is to wait till the weather calms down. The local Coast Guard, Sofat San, reported that initially they could not get close to the ship and hence could not check the markings. There were no signs of the country it belonged to. They have informed vessels sailing in the area to keep an eye out of the missing crew. They could be floating in the sea or on the lifeboat. A ghost ship is a vessel that is considered to be abandoned. The ship may also have been scrapped. It could also have come loose from a boat yard. Coast Guard Sufab San mentioned that the incident on this ship was already reported to the police. Cambodia is a getaway used by notorious Chinese gangsters for smuggling meth from the labs based in Myanmar into the remaining Asia-Pacific region to wealthy nations like Australia, Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Now, the U.S. Department of Transportation is looking to the White House to help expedite its container data exchange initiative aimed at improving cargo flow through domestic freight networks. In a notice scheduled to be published in a Federal Register this week, DOT's Bureau of Transportation Statistics has requested emergency approval from the Office of Management and Budgets for a pilot effort to develop a proof-of-concept freight logistics optimization works data exchange launched by the administration in March. DOT anticipates the pilot project, which is the first phase of the Flow initiative, to involve 21 participants, 18 of which were announced in March, and move towards what the administration hopes becomes a permanent voluntary program with up to 200 participants during its first 3 years. Developed following the congestion turmoil that peaked earlier this year at major container ports and backed up the entire domestic U.S. freight supply chain, the White House notes in a previously issued fact sheet that Flow will test the idea that sharing basic digital freight data in a novel data sharing partnership is in the interest of public and private parties. If you just joined us, you're listening to Maritime and Port News. United States import container volumes grew by 5.9% in June, year-on-year, defying weaker consumer demand trends. According to the latest Macon report, throughput at the top 10 U.S. container port reached 2,164,789 TEUs last month, after a 3% gain in May and a 5.1% increase in April. This represented a huge 26.9% increase on the pre-pandemic levels of June 2019, evidence of the nation's insatiable appetite for imported goods. The U.S. East and Gulf Coast ports again saw the biggest increase in boxed import, up 9.7% to 1,086,380 TEUs, compared with a 2.3% rise for West Coast port at 1,087,000 490 EUs. Moreover, New York's 13.4% rise in import volumes puts the port within striking distance of usurping Los Angeles at the top U.S. container port, the latter showing a decline of 4.9%. Report author John Macon said the coastal shift trend had continued at pace in June, the result being that as many ships are now awaiting berth at New York and Houston as idled at Los Angeles and Long Beach combined. He noted that port contagion had now shifted eastward, with 2/3 of ships anchored on the East Coast, a reversal of the position of 6 months ago. He said it was clear that congestion at U.S. port was driven by the inability to get boxes out of the terminals and not in getting containers off ships. He urged that the port system in the U.S. is not in a position to accommodate the geometric growth of the foreseeable horizon, arguing that container cannot be stacked higher at terminals without further reducing efficiency. Mr. Macon called for new terminals to be constructed, including greenfield inland facilities where containers could be shuttled directly from discharging ships. Scotland is getting its first direct container link with China in a new service that promises to cut transit times by nearly half. The maiden voyage from Ningbo is due to arrive in mid-August at Greenhawk Port, carrying 1,600 TEUs. Sailing will occur 3 times a month with a 10-day port rotation and will be between the port of Ningbo and Dongguan to Liverpool and Greenock. The direct China Express route launched by Glasgow-based KC Group Shipping is expected to cut journey times from approximately 60 days to an estimated 33 days by eliminating unscheduled port congestion delays in Rotterdam. CK Group Shipping is one of the hosts of Ningbo UK transport firms to have set up container shipping services during the pandemic. On this note, to wrap up this morning's edition of Maritime and Port News, Maritime and Port News is proudly sponsored by the Ghana Shippers Authority. They provide you with the best in all your shipping solutions. You can contact them at the Shippers House in Accra. You can also join us live on YouTube on Omanfm and on Facebook on 2TVGH. Tune in to Omanfm in Kumasi for more Maritime and Port News. My name is Nanesi Boateng. My producer, Kwekwa Boache. Have a great day.
Yensu akwan suju medie hia mo man bia ankanko edi Ghana eku wiase na di wiase so ba Ghana Shippers Authority ani so ade hunu ne se ye bebuo nsuo so adwadifo e wo haw bia wonam mu efiri no ma ayra dia